Hey there, I'm Josh Palma and I'm hanging out at the MasterCraft factory. I'm about to take out this X-Star on the Tennessee River and show you how to surf without the aid of the rope. So how do you go about dropping the handle? So before we cover that, I just want to really divide the activity of surfing into two phases. So the first would just be riding, which we covered in a previous video. So getting up on the board, just kind of getting comfortable with your balance, edging around with the rope, and just kind of gaining your composure and getting some comfort out there. The next phase, which is what we're going to cover now, would be surfing. That's when you're cruising without the aid of the rope. And really, the biggest concept to understand there is that you need to find neutral. So while you're surfing, you're going to find that in order to control your speed, you're either going to press weight into your front foot or your back foot. Front foot's your gas, back foot is your brake. And I often picture like a seesaw, so you're kind of constantly rocking back and forth, and think of making small controlled adjustments rather than big movements. And the goal here is just to maintain your position on the waves. You've got the nose of your board, and relative to the transom or the platform, you want to try to keep that distance constant. So you're almost trying not to move around on the wave. And when I see somebody surfing do that, it shows me that they're really learning how to control their speed. And that's a big key to progression. While you have the rope, you can also work on your movement up and down the face of the wave. And really what you want to do there is kind of get back to the sweet spot, carve up the face by leaning on your toes, and then come back down on your heels. And again, keep those carves nice and small. You don't want to go too wide. You don't want to go too high on the face. You're just trying to get the feel of transitioning from your toe side edge to your heel side edge, and just starting to really work the face of the wave. And as you start moving around on the wave more, it's important that you know how to recover or pump back into the wave if you need to pick up some speed. And the simplest way to do that is I'm left foot forward. If I'm surfing front side, again, facing the wave. If I start drifting back too much and I want to get back to what I call the sweet spot or home base, just push, don't break at the waist, just push your chest out over your toes a little bit so that you're engaging that toe side rail, and lean over your front foot. The combination of those two things alone, like it doesn't take a lot of body movement, you can be very efficient when you learn this, will just shoot you straight back up into the sweet spot. There are times when that simple move isn't quite enough in terms of building up speed again. So that's where pumping comes in. It's a little bit more of an advanced technique, but it is something you can learn with practice. I liken it to an ollie on a wakeboard. It's just kind of a finesse move that takes some repetitions, but you can for sure pick it up. And what I'd say is think about just off-weighting the board. So it's almost like you're doing a small little ollie and then pressing into your front foot. And if you combine that movement with a little bit of a heel-toe carve, like you'd see an ocean surfer do when they're trying to pump in to do a big frontside air or something, when you can combine those two elements, you're going to be very efficient, and you can be all the way at the back of the wave and easily recover. A nice drill to work on that recovery and kind of your pumping technique is to get a rope length where you're pretty much all the way at the back of the wave, like right where that curl's crashing over the tail of your board, and drift all the way back intentionally, and then work on basically creating slack in the rope. So that means you're generating more speed and you're able to kind of pump back into the sweet spot. And don't just do it once or twice, like get a few good repetitions there, because this is just a very feel-oriented move, and it'll just take you a little time to get a sense of which body movements and thoughts work best for you to efficiently recover back into the sweet spot. Also, try some different wave shapes. That is really one of the great benefits of the Gen 2 surf system, is that it's got a lot of versatility in different face shapes and lengths of wave that it can offer. So, try steep, try mellow, try max push, even jump on the kids wave if you're not a kid, because that face is just very mellow and forgiving, and it helps you kind of dial in those heel to toe carves. And then lastly, don't be afraid to experiment with different stances. So have your back to the wave, surfing backside. It's a little tricky at first. Try to get up switch. All those things are important to kind of, just gaining all the tools that you need to be really controlled surfing behind the boat. If you have any other questions, please feel free to DM us on any of our social platforms. And thank you very much for being part of the MasterCraft family.